Hello everybody, Incon here, reviewing week 3 of the SPL. Freelo week gone completely tippy-toed on its head, flipped around, everything gone crazy. Let's get right into this. Paradigm versus Justice Gaming over in Europe, going exactly as planned, even though nothing else wanted to go as planned. Paradigm taking this 2-0 in a very timely fashion. 26 minutes in the first game, 19 minutes in the second game. Sub 20-minute game, crazy. Funballer going 11-2-8 in the first game, as well as Azalea going 7-1-13, both having outstanding performances. Note in the second game that Azalea went Artemis. I don't 100% know what the logic was behind the Artemis, but went 6-0-10 on Artemis, and Cuba Fred went 8-1-9 on Circuit. Really strong play from Paradigm. This is Paradigm pretty much at their performance level that they are used to. They had a rough start to their season, like Paradigm always seems to do, and then they seem to have gotten their gears rolling and everybody's back into play, so they're playing very strongly again. Epsilon versus Dignitas. Epsilon is seemingly unstoppable right now, adapting, going 4-0-11 in the first game and 8-0-13 in the next game, getting MVP of Europe for this week. Overall, incredible play by the entire team, really. I mean, Yaman going 6-0-11 on ISIS. We have Emilito 7-1-8 and then 5-1-11. Keep in mind, it was against Dignitas, one of the weaker teams in Europe, but they've been having this kind of standout performance against essentially every team they're going against. They have really stood out to be one of the top teams in Europe, and if you're voting against Epsilon at this point, you're pretty much throwing away your FP. They are like your guaranteed FP. Getting into some of our upsets, though. Titan versus Justice. Titan drops the first game to Justice. Very unlike Titan to play down to their opponent. Titan normally a team that really kind of steamrolls over their opponents and always plays at a very consistent team level. Kind of dropping the ball here in the first game. Not exactly sure what happened, but they really should have taken this 2-0. Against Justice, considered one of the weakest teams, if not the weakest team in Europe, probably with Dignitas. But Justice playing very well in this first game, particularly their jungler and their middle laner. Fex is going 6-2-12 on Janice here. Overall strong play from them. Titan taking it back in the second game, though, saying, hey, that first game was a fluke. You know, whatever, guys, get over it. We'll talk about it later. Let's get right into the second game. Let's show them what's up. Pretty Prime going 6-0-16, and Kanye going 1-0-22. Like, hey, guys, we're just going to carry this, no problem. Ataraxia going Hell, which is crazy. I'm not sure how you get away with a Hell without, like, getting invaded and killed and losing your blue buff, but I've never understood the inner workings of Europe and their Ares anyway, so I'm not going to be able to comment too much on that. But Ataraxia getting away with Hell, and he probably shouldn't have. That series end up going 1-1. Les Mis versus Paradigm. Les Mamadons. Les Mamadons. Going against Paradigm. Once again, Paradigm showing that they are this dominant force here. I think there was a DC on the side of Myrmidons in both games, I want to say. I want to say Jermaine was having internet issues. I may not be 100% correct, but I want to say somebody on... They seem to be having a lot of... the Myrmidons seem to be having a lot of internet problems every week now. Both games being surrenders. It might have been even multiple members disconnecting. I'm not 100% sure what happened. I was trying to follow it, but it seemed to be a lot of disconnects going on, a lot of inconsistent internets going on. If Myrmidons can get their internets figured out, I think they'll be a lot stronger team. Dignitas going against Fnatic. Fnatic deciding they're going to lose a game to Dignitas because why not? First game going to Fnatic like it should have been in both games. Captain Twig going 7-2-8 and Zyros 5-0-14. Reels, of course, doing real things. Side note, if you've never seen Zyros in person, Zyros is like a dude that looks like he could kill you, and he's actually the nicest person, and it's very strange, because like you're like, I want to stay away from that dude. I think he's going to attack me. And then you meet him, and he's actually the nicest person you've ever met. He just has like an aggressive, like, persona that like he looks like he could punch you in the face and like murder you, but he's like, hey, here's a cookie. I baked it for you fresh this morning. And you're like, that's very kind of you. Regardless. Second game was what we're talking about. Variety going hell. Once again, we see another hell pick here in Europe becoming more popular, especially now after this week, or this week in particular. Now we'll start having a healing reduction less effective on weakening curve, so maybe they're just preparing for that, for healers to come back into the meta. But Hell and Ice is being run on that team. A lot of healing on the side of Dignitas. Meanwhile, Fnatic, outside of Reals, not very strong performances coming out overall. Dignitas not taking it like super handily, but just winning team fights correctly enough, just doing things correctly enough. We just got a donation for the charity while the stream is offline, doing a YouTube video because we are donating for charity for Crohn's. Thank you so much, by the way, Half-Wolf. You're in the video now. Congratulations. But really, realistically, this was Fnatic's game to lose, and Dignitas played up above expectations, taking that game away from them. Last, wrapping up the week, we had Epsilon Esports versus London Conspiracy. If Epsilon was going to lose a game this week, it was going to be to London. That, of course, did not happen. 15-2 total kills in the first game, 32-5 total kills in the second game. Adapting going 10-1-19 on Thor and 6-1-7 on Fenrir. Man, this guy is off the chain. Somebody has to find a way to stop him because I don't want to go against him ever, period, without there being some sort of like, here's your like 15-page book on how to stop adapting, because he's a monster that can't be stopped. Realistically, this whole team are monsters that can't be stopped, and I need somebody to stop him for me. So whoever's out there, Titan, stop Epsilon for me. I appreciate it. But realistically, this was just Epsilon's week of dominance. I think they're going to dominate this week again. They're going against some of the lower opponents in Europe, so they're going to probably maintain their undefeated record going forward. Thanks, guys, for coming out to the video. I appreciate you guys watching it. Please subscribe if you enjoy the content, like the video, and as always, have a twitching day, y'all.